that moment as well, always iconic to me too.
Yes, but I like that you brought up the fact that he was a facilitator along with that 30 unique champion stat, because that's what allows him to be a facilitator. Yes, he can play the Akalis. He can also hop on the Lissandra and just spoon feed kills over to Gumayusi.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely insane. This is why Faker has just been so nuts for. It's just that you can have him pop off on the Akali where he's like, okay, cool, I understand exactly how I need to push mid, how I need to get in position, how I need to set myself up for success in these fights. But he's also hyper aware of, as you can see in these sorts of situations, how he can set up his team. Where is Carry Gumayusi positioned? Is Carry in a position to follow up? He's so hyper aware of all these different things on the map. And we often talked about him as kind of being the puppet master as well in a lot of these situations and helping coordinate that early game.
And it would be me if I didn't also shout out Zeus. Almost did the most damage in the game on the Aatrox. And really, I think, made it very tough for Fudge to play the game, because we were talking about a Jet.
Yeah.
It didn't really feel like there was a good answer for C9, because I did like it drops a lot more, but it still wasn't enough.
Absolutely. This was a bit of a departure for the T1 drafts that we've seen previously. It's a lot more standard, a lot more just generally strong team fighting, and they played a lot more reserved. And Cloud9 did play a team composition with good lane prio from mid lane. They got a counterpick top lane, even though Fudge wasn't able to execute it and lost lane pretty heavily, and they had pretty strong engage. So it's a really, to me, like, hard loss to take, because they just weren't good enough, right? So there's no scapegoat here. There's no Fiora to point to.
I was gonna say, that's the scariest thing for me when we preface this whole game saying we want to see a change in the draft. We get a number of those changes we're asking for.
Two, the Ring of Frost may cost Faker his life. He goes golden. Gumayusi is going to be backed up by Carrier. The Killer Instinct. That's one. That's two. Jensen pulled for a triple. Guma gets a quadra. The stun doesn't land. Zeus escapes for now. The Buster Shot buys more time. Cloud9 are still alive, but not for long. Ona's going to continue to chase forward. Sven will get melted. Zerka's gonna hop over the wall and get chased down. The Winions take